evening, everyone. It's 5:30 p.m. and I will call to order this regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls City School District Board of Education. Ms. Stoikoi, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Coco?
Here.
Mr. Gomez?
Here.
Mr. Harris?
Here.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Here.
Ms. White?
Here.
Thank you. Item B is approval of the agenda. Number 1 is a motion to approve the agenda. It's recommended the Board of Education approves the agenda of the October 25th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. Action by the Board of Education, adoption of a consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one singular motion unless a member of the Board of Education, Treasurer, or Superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Item C is our opening ceremony. Number 1 is our informational items. This meeting is a meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business. It is not a public community meeting, although there are opportunities for public participation. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic found on the meeting agenda, the individual must complete a registration form found inside the attendance notebook and present it to the treasurer. Following the introduction of the topic by the board president, followed by board discussion, the individual will be recognized. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic not found on the meeting agenda, they must notify the superintendent and/or board president of the topic no later than 3 business days in advance of the meeting. These individuals may share their comments during the board business portion of the agenda. In both cases, the individual will preface comments by an announcement of their name and address and limit comments to 3 minutes. All statements should be directed to the board president. No person may address or question board members individually. In addition, in public session, the board will not hear complaints about school personnel, nor against any person connected with the school system. An unabridged board agenda for this meeting can be found on your electronic device at the address shown on the screen, and for your convenience, hard copies of the board agenda may be found on the table by the sign-in book. Next regularly scheduled meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education is November 15th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. right here in the Cuyahoga Falls High School Library. Now for our Pledge of Allegiance and our welcome, our treasurer, Mrs. Stoikoi.
Thank you. Please stand with me if you're able. Welcome. Our vision, Cuyahoga Falls City Schools, the hub of our community, committed to a culture of caring. We innovate, we create, we personalize education for all. Our mission, every student, every day, every opportunity. Sorry. The board's strategic plan goals are as follows. School safety. We aspire to have a welcoming environment that ensures that the physical and social well-being needs of every student and its staff member are met. Academic growth. We aspire to have significant growth through personalized education for all students. We aspire to improve graduation rates so that our students are prepared for employment, enrollment, or enlistment. Engagement, inclusion, and diversity. We will ensure that every student has access to resources they need when they need it in order to be successful. And technology and systems integration. We aspire to create safe, secure, and efficient technology systems to support high-quality teaching, learning, and district operations.
Thank you, Ms. Stoikoi. And a special welcome to all our top Tigers and our staff star and all their families and friends who are here tonight. It's our first top Tiger and staff star night of the year, and it's always one of our favorites. It's long 4 months without these nights. So now on to item D, presentations. Our first is a special presentation for our folks at DeWitt to honor their report card and PBIS awards. And I think Dr. Selko and I are going to tag team this one.
Yes, I have some notes on my computer, so I could lug it over
Okay.
here that I wanted to refer to. Good evening. It's good to see everyone. As Mr. Gomez mentioned, I'm Dr. Selko, the Superintendent of Schools. So we have a few recognitions. You get to hear from me for all of the recognitions for Top Tiger. But before we do so, I wanted to first take an opportunity to recognize DeWitt Elementary School and tell you a little bit about some of the achievements that they have recently earned. One you may be familiar with. Who's from DeWitt? Because I know we have some DeWitt people, or who has attended DeWitt at some point. Where are my top tigers too? Okay, all right. Okay. We have a new reporting system with the Ohio Report Card. You know that if you have a student in grades 3 through 12, you know that they come home and tell you about an achievement test that they'll be taking. And as a result, those results are taken to come up with an overall rating for schools and districts. And they've moved away from the A, B, C, etc. That you might have been familiar with, and have come to adopt a star system. So now we get ranked from 1 to 5 stars, and they have halves in there as well. Well, one of our schools, and that's DeWitt, received 5 stars, which is the top honor. And to let you know what that means, there are 6 overall categories, but with elementary schools, only 4 of them pertain to them. And that's achievement, progress, gap closing, and early literacy. And they're measured on all of those things. And obtaining 5 stars overall means that they showed significant evidence that the school exceeded student growth expectations by a larger magnitude. So it's actually the most growth that you can show. And so we're very proud of that. They were our only school who obtained 5 stars, but many of our elementary schools also did very well, obtaining 4.5 and 4 stars and 3.5s and 3, so we are also very proud of them. But DeWitt was our only 5 stars, so we're going to start with that first recognition. So if we can just give a round of applause. Are there any other DeWitt staff members that are here? I mean, I see Tom, and anyone else that's here for tonight? And your top Tigers are? Okay, so award number 1, don't go far. Award number 2 is an award that you may have heard this acronym before, PBIS, which is about positive behavior intervention supports. And they have worked very hard. I just spoke with somebody who you've been working with, you didn't know this, and they were complimenting your school quite well from our ESC here in Summit County. And that recognition, they earned the bronze recognition for PBIS, and that was through the Ohio Department of Education, which really doesn't exist anymore if you followed any of that. It's now the Department of Education and Workforce. But their recognition award for positive behavior intervention support showcase, earning a bronze. So congratulations to you as well. That's true, and Mr. Gomez just said that that's true. 11% of our it was schools, not districts. 11% of the schools in the state obtain the 5 stars, so we're one of those 11%, which is amazing. That's awesome. So, would you like to say that?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, absolutely. So I don't have anything formal prepared, but I'm honored to accept these awards on behalf of our staff, our students and families at DeWitt Elementary. Our teams work extremely hard. All teams at Cuyahoga Falls City Schools do, but I'm just very honored to do that. To earn these achievements requires a lot of focus on closing gaps, making sure all students' needs are met. But first, they must create a climate and a culture where learning can happen. And that's what our PBIS award is all about. And that's why we're so proud of that award as well. By creating that positive culture and climate and focusing on positive behaviors, all of our students can learn. And that's why I feel that we were able to achieve the 5 stars this year. So thank you for the honor of being able to accept these awards, but really it's about the students and staff and how hard that they've worked. So thank you very much.
Now for our second presentation tonight, I'm presenting on behalf of the Board of Education to our treasurer, Mrs. Storkoy, an award that she recently received for a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. The Government Finance Officers Association says that this Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. So we're particularly proud of Mrs. Stoikoy and our entire Treasurer's Office staff, and we wanted to take a moment to recognize them and thank them for their fiscal responsibility and watchful eye of our finances. And if she could please come up. So we can
We are audited every year, so this is part of that. This is one of the organizations that we submit a pretty large report to each year. We have copies if anybody's interested in my office. It's called an Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. And so it's not something that is required to be done. It goes a little beyond your regular audit. But it gives a little snapshot of the district and things that happened last year and the demographics, and then a little bit of additional fiscal information. So I have 5 ladies in my office that work very hard to make sure that everything is dang near perfect. So I really appreciate them, and there's no way I can do this without them. So thank you very much.
And presentation number 3 is our Staff Star Award. I invite up Ms. McClure.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to have everybody back. Our Staff Star Award is an opportunity for our staff to nominate their colleagues for recognition of the outstanding work that they do. So we choose a staff shining star every month. So this month I'd like to invite Mrs. Kate Johnson to come on up. Kate is the head custodian at Preston Elementary School, so I'm also going to ask Principal Brown, Tammy Brown, to come on up as well. So I'm going to read the nomination form for Mrs. Johnson, just so she can hear what her people think about her. Since day one of Kate coming to Preston, she jumped in and became an important part of our team. She begins her day while it is still dark and immediately gets to work setting up the buildings. On those hot days, she goes by each and every classroom and opens the windows. You can also find her wiping down playground equipment after an overnight rainstorm or morning dew. During other seasons, the sidewalks are clear of all that white stuff and then salted, and she will even text the staff to remind them to be careful and be caution about some icy areas. Each morning, Kate and Principal Brown begin the day together. Kate asks her what she needs, what the day looks like, so she knows what the Preston staff needs to be successful. She's always available throughout the day for whatever needs anybody in the building has, ranging from mopping up milk after breakfast to cleaning up other things that have a special code. Sure. You can use your imaginations on what that might be. When it's time for Acadians testing, which we talked about just a little bit ago, she asks where we need to have things set up, tables and chairs, when our map testing's happening, so she makes sure there's no added noise with the breakfast barrels or anything else in the hallway. She's always aware of the daily agenda, wants things to run smoothly. Every day at lunch, you'll find her helping in the class or in the lunchroom. She loves the kids. That's really what's most important, and enjoys interacting with them on a daily basis. Having her as an additional adult in the lunchroom is paramount to the lunch hour running smoothly. If you've ever been in a cafeteria, elementary school, at the lunch hour, it seems like it's the lunch, 24 hours, but it needs to run smoothly, so Kate's a good part of that. So the last 2 summers, Kate's also had the good fortune to do summer school at Preston, which means she not only had a list of summer dues, but also extended the school year with new staff and new kids being part of the building, and had that on her plate as well, and she does not ever complain. As a matter of fact, she said more than one occasion that summer school is not bad, and I get to see kids and staff. So when we started this school year, one of our youngest black tigers went up to Kate with a big hug and told her that she missed her so much. That touched Kate deeply, I believed, and I believe helped her to see what Principal Brown sees every day. And she is so much more than someone who sets up and cleans up and fixes things. She's an important part of our daily success, and she is Principal Brown's own personal cheerleader, therapist, and friend. Couldn't imagine her days without her, so we appreciate, Kate, everything that you do for us. So this is your Shining Star Award, which you can display very proudly in your office. Would you like to say a few words? That's fine. Principal Brown, it's all you.
I could go on and on about her. Kate makes Preston better, Kate makes me better. And so, thanks, Dad. Good job. She's just terrific, and we couldn't do it without her. I know I couldn't. So thanks, Miss Kate.
Now for presentation number 4, our top Tigers, and I'm going to invite back up Dr. Selico and Ms. Coca.
All right, hello again. We have new procedures this year, so we're changing things up a little bit. I think we've changed it a few times now, but again, thank you for being here. Happy to see everyone. It is, as Mr. Gomez says, great to see our families and students. I recognize some of our students here, and I have seen some of you in the last couple of weeks, so I'm happy to see you again, and especially up here. That's great. So let me just briefly explain to you what Top Tiger is. It's an award given by our Board of Education members to the students from each building each month. The students are chosen by various staff members in their buildings, and I get the distinct honor of reading about each one of them. I'm going to ask that when I announce the students' names, now students, are you listening? Of course you are, to your Top Tigers. All right. So when I call your name, you're going to come up here. Miss Coco is going to help me give out some goodies, all right, to you. When we're going to have you up here, I'm going to embarrass you. You're going to sit next to me. I'm going to read all about you, and you're going to stand very proudly. And people get to get pictures of you. Then we're going to have you, Miss Stewart is in the back there. She's raising her hand, so take a look at Miss Stewart. All right, we're going to see how well I do these directions. She is going to take an individual photo of each person. All right, so she's going to get each child. All right, and then at the end of all of this, and that includes Kate, and I think that was, and Ms. Stoikoy, we want to get your pictures in the cafeteria across the way. And Mr. Metcalf will also give you some directions on some other things that he's going to talk about. And I was just looking for my prop, but I don't know if I have one up
It's
here.
in front. It's in front of the.
Oh. Beautiful. This is one of the great things that you get to bring home, and I know this is very exciting for our families. Yes, and this is compliments of our teachers union. Mrs. Carlisle's in the back, so they were so gracious to be able to give these to our students as well. And I always joke because I have 2 children, 2 girls. One will get this every time. The other one, I'm not so sure I'll ever see one. But and they're laughing because they've met her. So I'll go with the one and we'll take it. We did have one in our previous district that we displayed for my one child. So it was, and she was very excited, and you should be very proud students and parents. It's a nice thing to display in your yard. So thank you to CFEA for that. All right, so Ms. Coco will help you this evening with the awards. After all, as I mentioned, we will get pictures out there. Once we are complete with all of our photos, you will be free to go. We will carry on business, but you are free to have a nice evening with your families. And I'd also like to add that we have many generous community sponsors, and the Cuyahoga Falls Schools Foundation and Alumni Association is one of them. Mr. Gary Metcalf is here this evening, and he's going to talk to you just for a few moments. And I also just, again, want to thank all of our partners, because there are some really nice gifts in here and donations from our sponsor, our business sponsors, and just appreciate them being part of this and acknowledging the greatness of our students. So Mr. Metcalf, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the top Tigers this evening, and to all the staff for all the many awards. I've always said the Black Tiger staff is the best in Ohio. A few words about the school's foundation. We do have some sponsors. Donato's Pizza. You will get a certificate this evening for a personal pan pizza. Dietz's Florist has donated some carnations for you. Young's Printing has helped with the bags, the goodie bags. You will get a t-shirt this evening. You can wear it proudly all school year. I will be directing you down to my room down in 406. So see me after the pictures are taken. And with this t-shirt, next May, I know that seems like a long ways away, but it'll be here sooner than we think. We can all march together in the Memorial Day Parade wearing your Top Tiger t-shirt. The school's foundation started way back in 1983 with one scholarship. In the past 10 years, we've awarded over $1 million worth of scholarships to our graduating seniors. We help out with class reunions. We have awarded over $45,000 in teacher grants in the last 10 years. We honor distinguished alumni. But one thing, we cannot do this without our alumni and friends of our schools. Thank you so much.
Our foundation is outstanding. I've been in several districts in my career, and this really is top notch. What a great group of volunteers that we have, and so much that they do for our children, so we're very grateful to them. All right, students, you ready? Or should we just call it quits now and just send everybody home? What do you think? No? We've been waiting so patiently. All right, we'll get into it. It's a very scientific way in which we announce names. It's called alphabetical order. All right? So we're going to start with DeWitt, and hopefully they're in alphabetical order. That would be embarrassing if they're not. All right, so DeWitt, our first student, so let's see if I gave good directions. I don't know if he's here this evening, but Blake Cole. Blake
He is sick.
He's sick. All right, well, let's read about Blake. The specials team is proud to nominate Blake Cole as our pick for Top Tiger. Blake is a kind, honest, and high-energy young man who is always smiling and happy to be at school. He is always willing to lend a hand to be a good friend to his classmates. He shows his Black Tiger pride inside and outside of the classroom. So congratulations to Blake. We're sorry to Our next student from DeWitt is Prisha Rai.
She's at Diwali Festival.
Oh, all right, another good reason to miss. All right, well, we'll read about Prisha. Prisha is a joy to have in class and a good friend to all those around her. She is a sweet and conscientious student. She was so in kindergarten and has grown into a mature and thoughtful first grader. We are so excited to watch her on her journey through elementary school and are delighted we get to have her as a student at DeWitt for another 5 years. Thanks for being a wonderful Black Tiger that you are, Prisha. So congratulations. Moving on to Lincoln. I should have said alphabetical orders in kindergarten, then we go to middle school and high school. So, for clarification. All right, so from Lincoln, we have Danielle Makinich. Yeah. All right, Danielle, as you make your way up, I'm about to embarrass you. Ready? Here we go. All right. Danielle is an absolute joy to have at Lincoln this year. She always comes to class with a smile on her face, there, good, and is excited to learn. She shares her positive attitude and her drive to be successful with her classmates by her positive words and actions. She is bright, organized, enthusiastic young lady who takes her Black Tiger pride seriously. She is always one of the first in line in her class to show respect to her teachers and classmates. She takes responsibility by learning her music carefully, giving her best efforts in all aspects of class, and is always willing to lend a helping hand to those who are in need. She practices safety by being a good example to all and encourages our youngest students in the building to practice their own safety as 5th grade kindergarten helper. Awesome. She is quite musical, artistic, and creative. She exhibits all the qualities of a true Top Tiger, and we are honored to nominate Danielle as one of our Top Tigers. Congratulations. Danielle's like, are you done yet? Can I get moving? Lots of great things to say. All right, next we have Luke Olish. Luke has demonstrated impressive character throughout his years at Lincoln. He is kind, polite, respectful, and helpful with both teachers and peers. Luke is a model of behavior both in and out of the classroom. He demonstrates maturity above that of a typical 5th grader and radiates leadership in all that he does. Luke's attention to detail and his artwork brings his ideas to the next level. His creativeness really shows how he develops an idea and portrays it through extensive details. Luke is also a member of Lincoln's flag team, taking on the responsibility of raising both our U.S. and Black Tiger flags daily with a small group of his peers. The Unified Arts team at Lincoln is proud to nominate Luke as one of our Top Tigers. Congratulations, Luke. All right, Preston with Jeremiah Jeffrey. Jeremiah is a student who is kind to everyone. She always has a positive attitude, and her teachers can rely on her to be a role model for others as well as a dependable leader. She works very hard each and every day, no matter the task. When Jeremiah experiences bumps in the road, whether at school or outside the walls of Preston, you would never know. She always has a smile and puts her best foot forward. We are so very proud of her and cannot wait to see her light continue to shine as she heads to middle school. Congratulations. There you go. All right, Mackenzie Sullivan. Apparently we have a nickname here. Could you go by Ken's? That's what it says. Just check. All right. Are you sure you're her? Do you have some identification? Driver's license, passport? No. Okay. All right. Ken's is one of the kindest black tigers Principal Brown knows. She is always positive and has a smile to share. She can be found each and every day helping someone who could use a helping hand or a friend. Even more important is the fact you don't even have to ask her. Her teachers describe her as responsible, reliable, selfless, and an absolute pleasure to have in class. She will be greatly missed at Preston when she heads to middle school next year, but we can't wait to see all that she accomplishes. All right, next we have Price, Michael Jones II. Awesome, Mike. Do you go by Michael? Yeah. Okay. All right. Michael has a perpetual positive attitude, I can tell, and his positivity is contagious to the students around him. Even when he struggles with new ideas or skills, he never gives up and tackles his challenges head on. He is always willing to take on extra responsibilities, and this year he is singing in his school's after-school choir and reading the school's morning announcements. His classmates and his teachers can always rely on him for a friendly greeting, and he is an absolute joy to be around. Do you remember me coming in your classroom?
Yeah.
Yes, last week. I remember you were reading with a friend.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Good job. All right. Next, we have Agatha Kitts. Oh, cool. I can tell. Agatha, I've met you before, too. I know. I remember you. All right. You go by Aggie? Do you have identification? Do you have a driver's license, a passport, anything with you that I can see? I'll take that as a no. All right. Well, we go by Aggie, though. That's what it says, right? All right. So Aggie is a very thoughtful student who brings kindness and persistence with her to school every day. I can tell. She cares deeply about the people around her, both students and teachers, and she is always looking for ways to be helpful. Her ability to work through and solve problems has led her to grow immensely academically and emotionally from year to year, and her increasing confidence is leading her to great places. Congratulations, Agatha. All right, we're moving on to Richardson. We have Mahima Biswa. Mahima is a hard-working student who has shown consistent improvement in her reading, writing, and math skills. She arrives each day to school with a positive attitude and an eagerness to learn something new. Mahima doesn't get discouraged when she doesn't get a concept, but instead learns from her mistakes and works on improving the task. She demonstrates Black Tiger pride as shown in the way she interacts with her peers, follows class and school rules, and tries her best in everything she does. Mahima is a bilingual student who experiences two cultures with her older sisters and parents. In her spare time, she enjoys reading chapter books and hanging out with her family. Congratulations to Mahima on being a top Tiger, and we wish her the best in her future endeavors. Next, we have Wesley Stark. Wesley. understandable. All right, you turn around and face everybody so they can see your cute face, all right? All right, here we go. Wesley was new to the Cuyahoga Falls School District last year, and since he has been a member of our Black Tiger family, he has demonstrated great leadership. Wesley gives his best effort in everything he does, and always with a positive attitude. Along with his infectious laughter, energy, and kindness, his peers truly enjoy being around him. Wesley keeps achieving personal growth in all his academic areas, and he has a particular love for all things science. Great. Keep showing what it means to be a Black Tiger, Wes. Congratulations. Straight back. All right. Next, from Silver Lake, we're moving on to Silver Lake, we have Noah Garland. Noah? I won't start without Jim. Right here, Noah. Right by me. You ready? So excited? Nervous? Don't be nervous. Look what I gotta talk in front of all these people. I'm nervous too. Hey, Noah. Noah's a famous person. Oh. What? Are you ready for this? They're gonna quote you in a minute. You ready? I know. What's about to happen here, Noah? I don't know. We may need a filter. All right. Grit. This is what you're known for saying. Grit is having the courage to push through no matter what the obstacles are, because it is worth it. It's not really you saying it. It was a famous person saying it. I just want to say it. Oh, there. All right. So it's a famous person who's quoted. All right. Well, guess what? They're saying this student, that's you, is the epitome of someone who shows perseverance and grit every single day. Noah Garland shows the hard work and determination of a top Tiger by putting forth every effort to succeed, both at school and at home. Noah is also kind and thoughtful and will put others before himself. He shows such self-determination, and I am so excited to see what Noah is able to conquer in life. This young man is going to change the world, and we are so proud of him. Congratulations. Next, we have Medina Ramani. Medina came to Silver Lake late last year. I remember seeing her in the hallway, always smiling. This year as a fifth grader, Medina has shown all of the qualities of a top Tiger. Medina comes into class every day with a warm, friendly smile for everyone. She is helpful and attentive. She is kind and welcoming to her classmates. She is respectful to everyone. She tries her hardest on her schoolwork, works diligently, and listens attentively. Medina is hands down one of the sweetest, most hardworking people. Miss, what's your teacher's name? Coke? I know, she spells it K-O-C-H, and there are others that spell it, and I can never get it right. Coke, it is Coke. Okay. That she knows. Medina's other teachers and Mrs. Coke are so proud to nominate her as a top Tiger this year. Congratulations. All right, moving on to those middle school students. We'll start with Bolick. Ian Foster. Ian is a wonderful young man who always acts respectful, takes responsibility, and practices safety in all spaces of the school. With his passion for cheese, his art projects are always filled with references to his favorite food. I love cheese too. He is currently taking the Explorations of Art class and will receive high school credit upon completion. Although soft-spoken, Ian finds a way through his music to show off his skills within the 8th grade band. Ian can always be counted on by his peers and teachers, and the Unified Arts team is happy to choose him for the Top Tiger Award. Congratulations, Ian. All right, next we have Kate Woods. Kate is a leader in every environment she enters. She is currently taking the Explorations of Art class and will receive high school credit upon completion. It has been an honor to see her grow as an artist over the past 3 years. She always has fun ideas for projects around the school and has a deep passion for helping others. In band, Kate is a leader in her section and works hard to master the music in the 8th grade band. Along with always being helpful with teachers, she is also supportive of her fellow students. She displays Black Tiger pride throughout the school day by being respectful, taking responsibility, and practicing safety. Kate can always be depended on when in need, and the Unified Arts Team is happy to choose her for Top Tiger Award. Congratulations, Kate. Moving on to Roberts School, we have Gray Crookston. All right. Despite the homophone of her name, when Gray Crookston enters a room, the atmosphere is far from dreary. I get it. Okay. Gray is a ray of light in each classroom she enters. Her unique and apparent servant leadership skills are above and beyond that of a typical 12-year-old. The meticulous and constant class participation, collaboration with peers, and diligent hard work are just a glimpse of all that Gray brings into a classroom. She is able to serve as a role model for her peers simply for her devotion to her own education as well as the way she treats each peer she encounters. Finally, she constantly is facing the day with a smile on her face that easily translates into each person she encounters. Roberts Middle School is a brighter place because of Gray. Congratulations. All right, next we have Olivia Mullen. Olivia is an impressive young woman who is consistently on task, asks clarifying questions, and works very hard. However, Olivia is not only her classroom presence, but is well-rounded in her activities and interests. Impressively, Olivia balances acting, cross-country, and quality time with her little brother in addition to her classes. Well, that's nice. Wish I had that in my home. Acting for both antic and dynamic theater companies, Olivia is currently trying out for the Greatest Christmas Pageant for the upcoming holiday season. In her spare time, Olivia likes to write short stories, and her goal is to become a classroom teacher. All right, how old are you? 12. All right, we'll see you in like 10 years. All right, the profession would be lucky to have her. Her kind heart and demeanor with her fellow classmates is a natural gift. For these reasons, the 7th grade team nominated Olivia for Top Tiger. All right, moving on to the high school. I think I see a name I know. What, you're already getting ready to come up here? Oh, you know, why do you think you're next? What if I called Julia first? Abhishek? All right, we'll start with you because you were the first. Abhishek Gajmer. Abhishek is a member of my suits troop, so I know Abhishek. Spend some time together. All right, so Abhishek is the kind of person that does not hold back and always inspires others to embrace and pursue their talents. Last year, he joined every club and sport humanly possible to encourage his friends to join so too. All right, then I won't feel special, I guess, Abhishek, that you joined my group, but all right. Pretend I didn't read that, I'll just continue. His heart glows when he leads. He has held many leadership roles in National Art Honor Society, IMD, NHS, soccer, volleyball, and more. But most telling is how he spent his summer was at a leadership conference filled with peer leaders, and they elected him the top leader among all of them. Abhishek is our resident ambassador of culture, future world leader, and an inspiration to students and staff. He is an academic marvel, always a super fan, a talented visual artist, and a young man who can really bust a move. Oh. Would you like to illustrate? No. Next time. Abhishek, you truly define the saying, they have a heart of gold. Or better yet, you have a heart of black and gold. Abhishek, we are so proud to have you join the ranks as Top Tiger. Congratulations. All right, and lastly, Julia, I should have called you before him. Julia McDonald. It is a privilege to recognize Julia for her accomplishments in the music department at Cuyahoga Falls High School. During her time at the high school, she has participated in numerous ensembles, and this year will be performing with Gold Tones and Symphonic Band. Outside of school, Julia actively seeks additional opportunities to collaborate and make music. She participates in education opportunities at Tri-C in Cleveland, including the prestigious Spirit of the Groove, an intense audition-based mentorship program for high school students in the greater Cleveland area. She performs in local venues, including her own headline show at Blue Jazz in Akron this past April. Awesome. Julia is a creative, collaborative musician who demonstrates a great maturity in not only her music, but also in her leadership and her unique ability to meet people where they are and help them grow. She is a joyful presence in Mrs. Culver's classroom, and she is grateful that you are a part. She could be part of her education, and she can't wait to see what the future holds for this talented young lady. It's a lot of reading. See how important it is to know how to read, boys and girls? See? So, before we head back for pictures, I just want to thank, again, all of you for being here. It's not a fluke or coincidence that your students are being recognized here this evening. You play a large role in that. So let's please have a round of applause for our families. Should be very proud. And the common themes that we see with children, right? Kind to others, leadership, their academics, they're well-rounded students, and there's a common theme throughout all of these. So congratulations to our students. Very, very proud of you. Look forward to seeing you in your schools and in your classrooms. Ms. Stewart, you are going to greet everyone. So students and families, I know some of you like to take photos too. Let's get our students out first, and then we can trail afterwards. So students will go straight through that door. Thank you.
Item E is Treasurer CFO's business consent agenda. Ms. Stoykoy.
Thank you. I'd like to recommend the Board of Education approve all items listed in the treasurer's consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Not much here, just a couple of the meeting minutes and then donations. Just point out, we've got another handful again, which always grateful for. Different ones at different buildings this time, all over the place. So some good stuff in there.
Anything from the board?
Ticonderoga pencils are the best. And the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, that's neat.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice, of everyone, all of them.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Thank you. Item F, Treasurer CFO's business, Mrs. Stoykoy.
Thank you. I'd like to recommend that the Board of Education approve the September 2023 investment schedule and monthly spending report.
So moved.
Second.
We can look
Discussion?
at the, excuse me, the interest file, September interest. Okay. So for the month of September, not as good as July and August, but that's okay. Some of it is now, and I talked a little bit about this at board agenda review, especially with the construction. So as we are really getting into construction and making our larger payments, you know, to Hammond of $3-4 million a month, obviously we do not have all of that cash on, you know, we don't just have millions and millions of dollars of cash on hand. So we have been having some of that pulled out and put into our main bank account from the Red Tree Investments, different ones. So we have had a little of that. So you may even see on those statements some of those balances going down. So that is part of what this is. Some of it is also just timing of when certain things are maturing and things like that. So still good. I mean, I can remember when we were getting barely anything. So I'll take whatever's coming. I mean, it's way better than it used to be, so that's good. And then the general fund monthly cash flow. Couple things to note. So we received our final settlement from the county for real estate taxes for the fall in September. Expenditures look a little more than the last 2 years. Part of that is that the CFEA, the stipend that was negotiated in their agreement, was paid out in September, and also their increases, their negotiated increases are in there as well. You will see a similar thing in October for OPSI, and then most likely November, December for SEIU. In just having those, OPSI will have like a retro payment in October, so it may look a little higher in October. Probably nothing too significant, but those are coming. So overall, this is typically a negative result of operations for us in September, just the fact that the county is not sending as much as they were in July and August. So pretty typical. Still, we ended with a little under 26 million. Excuse me, sorry. I'm trying not to. For the month of September. So next month I'll be doing the forecast. We'll have October. I still don't have real hard numbers yet from the county on those valuations. I've gotten some general stuff, so hopefully we'll have a better picture than next. It's actually next meeting now. I'll be doing the forecast. So that is all I have.
Questions or comments from the board? I have one question I just thought of as you were talking. We're talking about the interest and then the payments that we're making. to Hammond, that is based off of the drawdown schedule, correct?
The payments or what we're taking out of Red Tree.
The payments that we make to them.
The payments that, we make to Hammond and or TDA, they fill out what's called a pay application on, the Oaks OFCC's, system. And it goes through, OFCC approves it, Dr. Selko has to approve it. Once everybody's approved it, it gets to me. Usually once a month is what they submit those with all their labor and retainage, everything on there.
And that's based on actual work. Correct? So then at the beginning of this, they created like that drawdown schedule.
Yeah, so the drawdown schedule is when the state gives us funds and how much they're gonna give us of like their portion. So
Okay.
they're 37%, so they do that quarterly.
Okay.
And I haven't seen a revision since the, budget amendment was passed. So there will be a revision to that because now there's more money coming from the state. So that drawdown schedule will change a little bit.
Okay.
But they do those, they deposit those to us quarterly, and we submit quarterly, basically a report of what we've paid, what our interest is, all of that stuff, and kind of from there, if they need to make any revisions to the drawdown, outside of the budget amendment, they do so at that time.
Okay.
So we received that, yeah, we received that. So I can't remember if it was October or September, but you'll see, I think we got like 6 million for this last quarter. It might have been in October, so you'll see it next month.
From the state.
From the state's
Okay.
funds, yeah.
So when we get that new drawdown schedule, will you send it out? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd be interested in seeing how that changes.
Yep.
And then also, is there some document where you keep like the overall numbers of what they are billing us? And that's not, I mean, they're very above board and doing a great job. I'd just be interested in seeing how that chips away at the total balance.
Yeah, so they're all in,
Oaks.
you mean
that-
you were talking about the drawdown?
No,
or the-
just talking
what we're
about what
paying?
we send out to them. I mean, I see the monthly amount.
Yeah, so if you
I know
actually
it's
look
in that
at,
really complicated Oak system, that's not the best.
hold on, I'm gonna see if I have something here. It's
I know, I had to do like one thing and then it was not fun.
That's terrible.
To sign something, it was not exciting.
I cannot see it.
But like what we pay, I don't know, it would just be
Yeah,
interesting to see.
so it all comes out of the 004 and 010, and then there's two funds, and they're separated for one state share, one's local
Okay.
share. So that is all just construction costs, and if you look at, it'll show you fiscal year date from this July, but I do have something,
Is that the SFPR spending plan?
no, that is general fund, that's just looking
Okay.
at, that's kind of like the forecast. It's set up like the forecast, like a template, and it shows the month, like
Okay.
September, what hit those categories of the forecast for revenues and expenditures. But I, I do have something that kind of pulls them all together with total cost lifetime. Cause the report you're gonna see now will show you, some of them will show you month and some of them will show you fiscal year date, but that's only gonna give you, since July 1st. So, I can send that out to you guys if you want, or, if you want me to start putting it here, I don't know if that's.
I don't know what it looks like, so.
Okay.
It's just one of those things, you know, because we talk about our 5-year forecast, that drives so much of what we do, but then at the same time, there's so much that isn't in the 5-year forecast of what we
yeah.
do financially.
Yeah.
So that's always been one of my personal struggles in trying to understand the financial picture. It's like, you're driven by this 5-year forecast, but at the same time, so much of your,
Yeah,
it's the majority of your funds, but not all of your funds, and a lot of your other decision-making is made via funds that aren't reported there, and it's just
Yeah,
always
yeah.
been one of those
I'll
things
send
I've
out what I
struggled
have,
to understand.
and then you can let me know,
Okay.
you know.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, just
Okay.
congratulations again.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's awesome.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye. Thank you. And your comments?
I don't have any, because I'm gonna keep
Item G, Superintendent CEO's business consent agenda. Dr. Selico.
Thank you. I'd like to recommend that the Board of Education approve all items listed in the superintendent's consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Again, routine personnel issues that you'll see here, coaches being one, you know, that we have that as we approach new seasons starting. We're in that middle, we're starting to start our fall sports here, or winter sports, I should say. The handbook we have for athletics and activities is one that was, I appreciate Mr. Johnson working on. I've asked him to, we are going through it as part of his goals, and we're reviewing the handbook, and came up with, as the year progressed last year, a couple things came up that alerted me to the code book and asked him to work on it. So we have a revised handbook, and it was also reviewed by our attorneys, so feel confident that we have a nice draft there to present to you. And also, we have our Ohio School Board agreement. That is just to pay a small nominal fee for a person to come in from OSBA to train our secretaries. And that was organized by Mr. Jones. And we also have a agreement, a memorandum of understanding with Woodridge for the Title I teachers. Again, as you know, we're fiscal agents for some of those schools. The Beach Boys DJ is for our winter formal. And the Akron Children's Hospital, this is, so I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. We are having a really difficult time as we are bus drivers. We also have a hard time staffing our clinics. And so as a result, we are forced to be creative, and we still are trying to do some creative things. Mr. Elders falls under his purview. But we have to increase our services. In order to try to get people, we have to look at getting some RNs in, or some higher trained people, in hopes that will draw a better pool, or more of a pool. But as it's been a struggle, we've been without a couple clinics coverage, and we're really scrambling with our district nurse and others trying to cover the clinics. So request that we amend that contract in order to do so. Thank you.
Questions or comments from the board? I'd like to comment, my third grade teacher, Amy Davis, is retiring. And I wanted to comment on that. She'll be retiring at the end of this school year, which she told me a couple years ago. So she's been anticipating this, and it's a well-deserved retirement. But my third grade class at Preston, which she taught, had 33 students. And I could sit here all night and tell you the things that I remember learning in that class. And that says a lot about who she is as an educator, that there were 33 students in that class. And boy, did she still teach us and reach us, every single one. And she says she spent every single day in fear of that being the day she was told she got her 34th student. And when you think, there weren't a lot of activities that we did that weren't sitting at a desk, because when you have 33 desks in a classroom, there isn't a lot of flexible space in a classroom. So she's a phenomenal educator, and her presence will definitely be missed. And we are approving Ms. McClure's retirement tonight, but she'll be with us until the end of this calendar year, and we will give her, I will save comments until our last board meeting with her in December, and we will give her an opportunity at that board meeting in December to give us some parting words as well. That's a tradition since I've been on the board. We let Mr. Morris do that when he retired as well, so we'll
Words of wisdom.
share words with her and let her share some parting words for our district as well, so. You need time to prepare. You got a lot of stories to tell, so to pick a few, you need at least 2 months warning. Anything else? Please call the roll.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Thank you. Item H, Superintendent CO's business. Your comments, Dr. Salgo.
Thank you. Jotted down a few things. I was saving Ellen's for my informal, so I won't tell any stories. I could tell some too in this a little over a year. No, I just want to thank you. It's been great working with you and getting to know you in the short time that we spent. She's a good sport. She's always joining in on my fun events and is a trooper. We have some good photos of evidence of her having fun with us, and so we do appreciate you. You'll be missed, and I know we'll celebrate you again in a few short months. So thank you.
She got approved for retirement. We can at least applaud that.
Yes. Those are hard decisions to make. All right, so today has really been a whirlwind. I apologize for all my running in and out of running in at late and just barely making it, so thank you for that. I've had lots of meetings, and half my day was spent in the cafeteria at Roberts, and I will be a very good sport about things. However, I will point out that Chef Bailey likes to do a lot of trash talking. And I didn't participate, and so today I just said, well, my soup spoke for itself, as I won 200 to 46. Wow. And,
Were you in charge of, like, the rules and all
oh,
of
don't even
that?
start there, Miss
Okay,
Stoikoi.
I'm just saying, I know how that goes.
I had nothing to do with it. So Miss Stoikoi always complains about our contests, and she always is saying I'm a bad judge. But anyway, I had
I'm not
nothing
the
to do
only
with it.
one. I'm just the one that says it out loud.
Yeah. This group. Yeah, we had fun. So I made wedding soup, and he made a vegetable, like Italian rustic. And we were there cooking it all this morning, and then we served about, 500 students or 400 some students, our soups, and they voted, and I came out on top, and it was very, very nice, and I appreciate Amy, Andrea, Rachel, and Shannon. I got to know all of them, because I was in their kitchen. I helped them out a little bit by making some pizzas and opening some soups for them. So that was kind of fun and exhausting, so I hopefully will sleep well tonight, but that was fun. Also, this Friday night, some of you may be mentioning, there's a lot happening in the district. I think I'm going to be in 4 or 5 different places. I committed my Friday evening to scoot around to various events. We also have been meeting my soups troops. I haven't really provided you with an update. Abhishek is one of the students, and I have about 14 students who come faithfully and are, I think, really, what a great group of students. We are going to be doing some things around the holiday time. Some shopping. We may be doing our shop and drop again. Or drop and shop. I have to talk to them about that one. And
I had
then,
a parent ask if you were doing
oh,
it.
I had a parent. It's probably the same parent. She asked me too. So it's finding time and all these events that we have coming up. We do have on December 18th will be a celebration dinner for our families that we're going to be providing gifts for and things. So that we may tie it into that night. We're not sure yet. But we also, in conjunction with the Soups Troops, I met with Pastor Jay from the Covenant, Journey Covenant Church. So I went over there while you were all touring the building. I went to the food pantry, and it's amazing work that they do. And I'm so appreciative for the time that they give. And she has a moderate congregation in terms of size, and just the work that they do is really admirable. They are so giving of their time. So I was able to tour the whole facility, help a little bit. My students, I'm hoping that Soups Troops, we do send other children there, but I'm hoping to get Soups Troops. Our NHS will volunteer, but they're getting bigger, and they serve 125 families every Monday, 15,000 pounds of food every Monday. And so we will have some of our Mr. Al-Hadid sends, at Christmas time, he sends them to sing some songs and carols, and we were going to try to get the band there one night. And I also challenged my team, cabinet, to on Wednesdays whenever we can. I invited them to join me, whoever can. I know our calendars are very tight, but to pack on around lunchtime on a Wednesday to be there to assist. And then I have it on a standing meeting on Mondays for me, but whenever I can get there, I hope to volunteer and just extend that. I think it's great for our team to join with our community and do some good for them. So
What
that
time
was-
is that Wednesdays? on?
Wednesdays are 10:30 to 12:30. Okay. So that's when they actually get the truck in and all the food comes in. So so doing a lot of great things. We have a lot of grateful to all of our donors that have been we've been working with for different things for holiday time, and we have a lot of generous through our Business Advisory Council. A lot of people have approached me, and Western Reserve Hospital and others. So just really looking forward to helping others. So other than that, I'm sure there's a lot more I can report, but I think that's enough for one evening. Thank you.
Item I, board business. Number 1, future agenda items. So I was able to get information, gifted advisory. The gifted committee is going to present their recommendations at our first meeting in January. And so then our student services department will give us a presentation on panorama and whatever else they would like to present on that they determine is appropriate at our meeting in December. There's just the one meeting in December, so that, we have that, and I've talked with both of them, and those dates are picked. Our next meeting, will be our interviews for folks that apply for our board positions. We'll start the meeting with that. After we start, we'll go into executive session to interview them. They get 15 minutes. We do have applicants. They have until November 8th to apply, folks out there who might be interested. And then we have 5-year forecast as well. So it'll be a rather full evening. And then second meeting in November will be Top Tigers. Also December we'll have Top Tigers as well because there's only one meeting. And then in January we start probably second meeting in January. We'll do a little mini quick update on strat plan as a whole and then start going into the little focus areas throughout the year because we talked about doing that as well. And I do still have our ELL program. We said around spring that we would touch base on that. So those are the things I have. When people ask how it's going on the board, I say good, but very busy because we have a lot of really good work to impact our students that we are working towards, and as a board monitoring to make sure it's happening and impacting our students and that our staff in the buildings have the resources they need to support them to do that work. But very busy. So are there other things that I'm missing on that, or other things that we want to pin and see where they might fit in the future at this time?
When do we set up our next year's calendar?
I'm working with Mr. Jones on that now. He touched base with me after the last meeting, so he is working to get those dates put together. So at least at one meeting in November, we'll review those, and then probably in December confirm them. We can't vote on those until January, but then we'll set our organizational meeting in December. We'll just agree on it. You don't vote to set the organizational meeting, but you have to pull the members of the board. The treasurer technically has to pull the members of the board. But we'll discuss that in December. Does that work? Okay.
Sounds good, thank you.
All set on that? Good. Number 2 is committee report, 612 construction core team, Ms. White.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. Basically the plumbing, the electrical, the permits, things like that, and the tour we went on. But also just to note, the furniture selection, they're working on the designs and the colors and the furniture selections and all that for the new building. So that is being looked at and taken care of. So that's about all I have on that.
And that's one of the questions I asked Lucas on Monday, that once they get the furniture into the building, they have to carry each piece of furniture up individually. Did you know that? All the windows will be in by that point. So people will literally carry each piece of furniture into the building. That's how they do it. Does not sound fun.
I don't want that job.
Lucas said it's not his job either, but it was one of the things I wondered.
Yeah,
'Cause they said, when do you put the windows in? He said they'll be in, not this winter, but like soon thereafter. And then I said, well, what about the furniture? He goes, they literally carry each piece in. Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful to them.
So as you sit there and pick the furniture, I don't know don't use that as a deciding factor, but it's also interesting because pick the best furniture we can get. But it's an interesting thought to think about, that people will have to literally carry that in. I would have never, these are things you learned along the way that you would never have thought about as we thought to build a new building. But thank you, Ms. White. Athletics and Activity Council, Mrs. Schaefer.
We did meet. I did not bring my notes with me. I've had a chaotic couple weeks.
Okay.
Can I do it next week?
Yeah.
Thank you. I apologize.
Board policy, we do need to set a meeting.
We got a lot.
We have a lot to go. I will, can we circle back next week?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Better for my life. Business Alliance Council, you'll have a report at the next meeting. Financial Advisory Committee, you will be meeting in November, correct? Foundation will have a report at the next meeting. Legislative Liaison, do you have anything?
Yeah, I have a
Mr.
few
Harris?
updates from Columbus. Regarding the Department of Education and Workforce, the Franklin County Common Pleas Court judge denied the preliminary injunction request to stop the transfer of power to the K-12 Education State Board to the governor's office, so that is currently into effect. Jessica Vola Tolini was appointed as the interim director of the Department of Education and Workforce, and she started on Monday. A couple other things. Regarding legislation, Senate Bill 168, this would change the way teacher evaluations are done. It builds on the current Ohio teacher evaluation system by allowing local school districts to develop and use their own frameworks for the evaluations instead of using the framework developed by the State Board of Education. Senate Bill 168 would also change the qualifications for senior or lead professional educators, holders of a professional pupil service license, holders of a professional administrator or alternative superintendent license, and non-teachers. The bill permits a school district, community school, or STEM school to employ an unlicensed individual as a teacher, provided the individual holds at least a master's degree and has successfully completed an exam prescribed by the State Board of Education for the subject area in which they will be teaching. A couple other updates here, and I didn't really have too much on this. I saw it as I was in between work today. Speaker Stevens is going to be, or is at least concerned about what students and folks are paying for high school games. I will have a little bit more. I didn't really get a chance to look into that or read about that. A couple other things here. The House Primary and Secondary Education Committee held their third hearing on House Bill 214. That's a bill that requires each public school to adopt policy regarding certain expectations related to performance of staff members on professional duties. They also held a third hearing on House Bill 206, which would permit a school district to establish a policy that authorizes a superintendent to expel a student from a public school for actions that endanger the health and safety of other students in the school district. House Criminal Justice Committee, House Bill 139, they passed out of committee, again, House Bill 139, which would increase the penalties for assault if the victim is acting as a sports official or the assault is committed in retaliation for the victim's actions as a sport official. I believe that's it.
Student Achievement Liaison, Ms. White, do you have anything?
We will be meeting, I think, November 15th at 3:30. I'm not, oh. I'm sorry.
November 8th.
For, am I,
I'm thinking of the deal.
yeah, I think that one is, oh, that is what I was talking about, I think. So that is not before the next board meeting? I thought it was. I might have the dates wrong
Double check
again.
it. This is why we have this
But,
conversation.
yeah, I'm sorry. It's
They
probably
were second
me.
Tuesdays.
I thought they were the second Wednesdays of every
Yeah,
month.
Wednesday.
Is that right?
Oh, the 8th is the second Wednesday. Yeah,
Oh,
but we moved
okay.
our board meeting to the 15th.
Oh, okay, so the
'Cause of
8th.
Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry. That's what I got wrong.
Because
Was-
we had
is
to
the
avoid
8th
Thanksgiving.
At 3:30. Do we know where? Neonet?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I will have more then.
Thank you. Item 3 is comments. You're up first tonight, Ms. Coco.
Yes. I don't have a lot tonight. Just first and foremost, congratulations to our Staff Star Award and to Mrs. Scala and everyone at DeWitt on their achievement and all of our top Tigers. It's good to have them back here. Seems so empty after they clear out, but I love when all the families are here and the students and we get to celebrate them. I was not able to attend the PTSO vendor fair on Saturday because it was my daughter's birthday. However, in lieu, I sent my friend who spent enough money for both of us. And she actually purchased for my daughter something from Mrs. Schaefer's daughter, crocheted little corgi. And it's the most adorable thing ever. So
Oh, yeah, I need
yeah,
my
her
bee.
birthday.
I was there too. I
Yes.
purchased the bee.
Yes, so, but she spent plenty of money and reported back that it was the most, we usually go together every year, so she reported back that it was the most fabulous vendor fair that she's been to here. And so, thank you to Susan and everyone else that puts that on, because it's a huge undertaking and for a very important reason. So, for the scholarships for our students. Since last meeting, I was able to chaperone the Bullock dance, which went very well. I kudos to the staff there and to Mr. Oswald, and it was just the students had a lot of fun, but they didn't have fun in ways that they weren't supposed to. And it was very well planned and thought out, and you can tell that there's an environment of knowing what is tolerated and not. And so I just need to give a shout out to them. And then the school tour of the new 6 through 12 campus this past week that we were able to do. What an exciting, I don't even have words for it, because you can't really describe, and pictures don't do it justice, but to be walking down the plumbed halls of where the students are going to be, and to see the different classrooms, and to look out over the courtyard, but not too closely because the windows and everything aren't in yet, but it's just really cool, and they're doing a great job over there. And I was really impressed with how clean the construction site is, and I told Lucas that, even though I accidentally called him Lyle, but I won't make that mistake again. But they're just doing a really good job. And I said, this is so clean. I've been on construction sites before, and they run a tight ship over there. And so, and lastly, excited to go to the OSBA Capital Conference with all my colleagues, and for us to go and learn and bring back information and attend sessions, and always good to collaborate with other school boards and see what they're doing, and bring back things to make us better here.
Thank you. I am up next. I did stop by the vendor fair. There were 95 vendors, and then the vendors donated items because the PTSO is having bingo on December 2nd, which is a Saturday in the afternoon here at the high school, with the donated items. So that will be coming up as well, another opportunity. I stopped by the Bullock dance, and I will agree with what Ms. Coco said. Very well laid out, lots of adult volunteers from both the staff and parents and families from the PTSO, and you could tell the kids knew what the expectations were, because when they started to get a little rowdy and you reiterated the expectations, they just got back to where they were supposed to be. So that's nice to see. It's nice to see that respect, and seeing that across our district, and there's high expectations that we're starting to talk more and more about being respected. So hopefully that will continue. But a great job to our PTSO, and they have a joint PTO bonfire at the middle schools coming up next Friday, because they're working together to bring the middle schools together to start working together, which is really great as well.
Do we know what time that is?
I believe it's 6 to 8. No.
I don't know what time it is right now, but I can send the information to you.
Okay, because the fall play, I don't have it on my
Yes.
calendar, but I know that I'm going to the fall play on Friday night, so I was wondering if I could do both.
And I also stopped by our last home football game, even in the rain, and it really, in that third quarter, it really started to rain. But our athletes this year, I know they only officially got 2 wins, but they really performed this year. I really was impressed by them, And I wish, the final outcome of more of the games would have shown more of the effort that they put in, but they really performed. I was very impressed by a lot of the plays and a lot of the action. I went to all of the home games but one this year, and very, very impressed by our football athletes. And I hope they're very proud of themselves. I know they wish they would have gotten more than 2 wins, and as a community, we wish that for them as well, but they should be exceedingly proud of themselves. And our cheerleaders are really good. And the stunts that they do, I know, our cheerleaders kept getting tackled by the opposing team on Friday night 3 times in 1 quarter. It was a little rough. They're getting a little action, of course, the band as well, but our football athletes should be extremely proud of the effort they put out this year. It was phenomenal. And then the tour as well. It was nice to see things coming together. I know we're going to be able to get our community committee out there in the May time, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more folks out there as it'll be a little bit more constructed at that point. I think that might be a point that we'll be able to get more people in the building. I'd like to put a pitch in if we can at that point to try to get some of our 612 staff in there to start seeing how it's coming together, because I think as we saw how it was coming together, I think then in May, as it's starting to be more built, that might be a good time to get some of our staff in there, because we were starting to see how it's coming together, and that might be a good opportunity to get some of them in there and see how this is coming together and how these spaces are really going to look like in the new building. So just putting that pitch in for them at that time as well, because I think that would be a good opportunity for them, because it was such an aha moment for all of us to be like, oh, this is what we saw in the video. Oh, this is what this is. And definitely you cannot appreciate the magnitude of that building until you're in it. So hopefully, I know they're getting to a season where the safety is not going to allow for that, but they said maybe in May it'll be a little bit more built out, so perhaps we might have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I would agree, and I just wanted to add that the presentation that we saw last week, Christine has put together a version, like kind of combine some of that, and we're gonna show it to our entire staff on our PD day. We're gonna build that in, because I just think everyone should feel that excitement, and get to see that. So we're gonna plant little seeds as we move along. Yeah.
And there is a lot of excitement about it. I was at a friend's surprise birthday party on Saturday, and somebody who was there lives in Akron but graduated from here in 1980, found out I was associated with our schools and just asking me all these questions about the new building and just so excited about it. And he goes, I don't come to the falls often, but I've started to drive by because I want to see the new building, because he's excited about it. He lives and works in Akron, but he's been driving to the falls because he wants to see the building get constructed. So it really is just building so much excitement in people, and it's a positive moment. But
Yeah, it's great. I get lots of comments from people when I'm out and about. Yeah, it's great.
okay, Mr. Harris, you're up.
Again, congratulations, DeWitt, Ms. Stoicoy, Mrs. Johnson, and of course all of our hardworking Top Tigers. I attended the vendor fair on Saturday. Again, just fantastic, and ran into Ms. Schaefer, and my wife left with quite a bit of goodies to go home, cupcakes to be more specific. And I also want to give a shout out to the folks who were watching the Ohio State game, because I was able to keep up with that as I was walking through the event. So, and a great job, and it's already been said, to Susan and the PTSO for putting that on. It was a fantastic event. And again, the tour, just incredible. Thank you, Lucas and Hammond. Truly remarkable just to see the progress made in a short year. And it's already been said, but walking where these corridors and hallways will be, standing where these classrooms are, seeing where all the science, learning about the piping and all the stuff for science rooms, it was just incredible. And I want to back up at what Ms. Coco said here about just how neat and how tidy that construction site was. And Lucas said, if it isn't, something's going wrong. So if you walk into a construction site and it doesn't look like that, something's bound to happen. So great job there. let me see here, I had something else, but I cannot read my writing, so that's it.
Thank you. If you find out how to read your writing by the end of comments, feel free to jump in.
Right,
too.
yeah.
Mrs. Schaefer.
I don't have a lot to add. The vendor event, I was shopping and vending, I guess. It was the biggest one I think that we've had here. There was a lot of variety of things here. Susan she throws a great party. She throws a great event. She knows what she's doing, and the people on the PTSO that are here. I mean, they like working the concession stand. They had a system. It went really well. Tons of kids volunteering here. I was surprised at how many students they had here helping people unload their cars, loading back the cars, bringing food to the vendors at lunchtime so they didn't have to step away from their tables. Great event. Again with the tour, Anthony hit it on the head. Aha moments. I'm standing here and I'm looking out. Oh, that's where that's gonna be. Oh, that is gonna be the Black Box Theater. It was very neat. I'm very appreciative of that tour. I'm a visual learner, so seeing it after I have seen renderings and read about it, to actually physically be there and spatially be able to see how it's laid out, it's very exciting. I also got to go to the football game. It rained quite a bit, and I went to the other side where the band was and just kind of looked out at the end of the game. At the end of the game, one of my favorite traditions at the football games, I think I've said this before, is when the football team comes over to the band with their helmets, and then they play the band plays the alma mater, and they stand together and sing. And, win or lose, they're over there singing the alma mater. One of my favorite things. And I took a picture of it, as I always do. And there were still so many people in the stands on the home side that in the rain stayed through that whole game to support their students, and that's what it's all about. It was very wet. You could wring your blanket out at the end of the game, but it was a lot of excitement going on. Lots of slipping and sliding on that field. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. White?
Yeah, I just want to thank Hammond too for the tour. It was tremendous. It always is something to go there and see the site and then the building. It's so different than just driving by. So just to get in there and see everything, it's just amazing. And the planning committee night, they show the new building, and every time I start because I'm so excited, and it's going to be so wonderful. So thanks to Hammond. I also like to thank CFEA for the Top Tiger signs. I think they're really special and something our families and our students will love. So thank you for that. Don't forget Night at the Races, which I believe is November 11th? 10th. Sorry. I have to be on the dates. Yeah. Sorry, I know. And then the tech department, I'd like to thank them for looking into the protocol for visitors and getting that settled so all the buildings will be the same and have the same protocol. So thank you to the tech department for that. And I do have an article. I know you're so excited, but anyway, Teach Up for Equity and Excellence. And this is by Carol Ann Tomlinson. I'm sure most educators know her name. Oh yeah. Differentiated instruction has always been about providing every learner full opportunity to grow as much as possible academically, intellectually, and socially. A key principle of differentiation is teaching up. This idea reflects and elaborates a position voiced by Grant Wiggins 2 decades ago, and of course he's a writing guru guy. I'm not going to read what he said, but it's just you have to teach up. And that's what they're trying to say, whether it's for low-level kids or students of color, whatever, that don't always get into those classes. Teach up, or even gifted in regular classes. Teach up. Teaching up is of particular importance at this moment in education because it offers a path forward on 2 related, lingering, and defining concerns. The first is our enduring negligence to provide equity of opportunity to students from persistently marginalized groups. The second concern is a decades-long blindness to the test-driven impoverishing nature of curriculum and instruction that pervades today's classrooms. Just over 3 decades ago, Martin Haberman reflected on the experience of observing classrooms where teaching and learning were characterized by teachers giving information, asking right answer questions, giving directions, assigning low-level tasks, monitoring seat work, reviewing, giving tasks, going over tasks, assignment homework, going over homework, settling disputes that were common among disenchanted students, and punishing noncompliance, grading papers, and giving grades. He observed in these classrooms a pedagogy of poverty. While the damage done to already marginalized learners by pedagogy of poverty is broad in duration and scope, that degenerative approach to teaching and learning stunts the growth of many other learners as well. Students of many races and economic backgrounds whose adult support systems are unable to zero in on academic achievement or who have learning, social, or emotional challenges rarely find themselves in classrooms that provide a pedagogy of plenty, engage them in dynamic work, and mentor them to reach for excellence. Even learners identified as advanced or gifted are seldom consistently challenged adequately in general education classrooms or pull-out programs. To teach up, educators must plan curriculum and instruction for students with high ceilings of learning, and then provide scaffolding that enables a very wide range of learners to access and succeed with that work. Toward that end, for example, teachers who teach up work from a vision for equity and excellence in the classroom and invite students to contribute to that vision and help enact it. They model empathy, respect, and appreciation for the diversity of students' cultures, languages, talents, experiences, and learning needs. Such teachers consistently use formative assessment practices to gain insights into each student's learning. They plan learning opportunities to make room for student variance and that are also responsive to learners' strengths and interest opportunities that are active, collaborative, and authentic. To bring the subject alive, one teacher did a simulation of a game, and it worked. It got them all interested. I'm not going to go into exactly what he did, but some of the questions he asked his kids: what does it take to get ahead? Where do good ideas come from? How do you keep from crumbling? And so these are rather open-ended questions that all kids can answer, by teaching them to think critically, and that is so important. The educators described here ensure dedicated time for the whole class to encounter, explore, and discuss compelling ideas, connect their own experiences with what they learn, plan for expressions of learning, and become skilled collaborators. They allow students to work alone, with peers, and with the teacher to pursue their interests, plan for, and take their own next steps in the learning process, give and receive feedback on their work. They differentiate in response to their students' strengths and needs in both contexts. We must be dedicated believers, learners, and plotters toward leading classrooms that recognize and fuel each student's capacities and our own. Done.
Thank you. Item J is an executive session. Number 1 is executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1 and Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G4. It is hereby moved that the board adjourn to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, and promotion of a public employee or official, and to prepare for negotiations with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
I'll second.
There'll be no action after this, so once we vote, we will stop the recording and the live stream. Mr. Wickley, please call the roll.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Gomez?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Thank you. We're in executive session.